Hello, everyone. Welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Lokesh Nigam, who is the founder of Kognoz Research and Consulting, which is a technology-driven consulting firm that uses deep behavior science, AI, and cutting-edge methodologies to solve complex business problems related to human resource. He has also co-founded another product venture called Konverz.AI, which is a conversational intelligence tool that enables companies to conduct interviews without human intervention. Hi, Lokesh. Welcome to ELI.
Hi, Priyanjan. It's great meeting you here.
Likewise, I would request you to introduce yourself to our audience.
All right. So I'm Lokesh, and been an entrepreneur last 10 years. I did a consulting firm which is Kognoz, and we work extensively in the area of business and HR consulting.
Mhm.
And for the last year or so, we have been shaping our AI venture, which is Converz, which is a conversational intelligence and psycholinguistics analysis kind of platform, which helps clients in the space of currently with the use case of hiring and recruitment. And as we move forward, I'm sure we are going to solve a lot of other use cases. About me as a person, am, I am trained into behavior science. I'm doing my PhD in that area, and by background, I'm an engineer, and also served a little while in armed forces before I started my career long ago. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
Before we start talking about the venture, would like to understand more about your early life and things like
Yeah.
where were you born and brought up, where did you study, which all companies did you
Mhm.
work for, and any events in your life that gave you a hint of that you'll be going to be an entrepreneur one day.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's an interesting one. So I belong to Bhopal, which is a place in central India, and uh, it's been I did my schooling there, and after schooling, also spent a little while in armed forces.
Mhm.
So I was in the Indian Navy Naval Academy and spent about 2.5 years or so there. Had an injury, got withdrawn, and rebuild. So right from the word go in my life, in a way, there has been a lot of rebuild. So I don't know whether that has helped me put together an entrepreneurial journey or no, but yes, rebuild I did, and I
Mhm.
completed my engineering afterwards, and again from Bhopal University, and uh, did my engineering in electronics and communication. Went on to went on to do my MBA in HR later on from Symbiosis in Pune,
Mhm.
and after which I have been working in the industry for about 22, 23 years now, and started my journey with a textile firm, Oven Mills. I spent a few years managing organization development there, and then been into consulting last 20 years. So I spent time in ECS, and which was a part of Eicher Motors, Eicher Consulting Services, and spent time with PwC and uh, KPMG, working in the Gulf. Then spent a lot of time with Hewitt in India. Aon Hewitt used to be a consulting firm. And post which I actually started my venture in 2014. So it's been about 10 years now,
Mhm.
and been a great journey so far in that sense. Uh, been through ups and downs. We started a firm, merged that with another bigger firm. You know, got out again, restarted, rebuilt.
Mhm.
Not really as an organization, but as a business and as a name. So Cognos came to us as a name into 2018.
Mhm.
5 years after we changed some names and ownership structure, and uh, the tech venture we started in 2020, and we've been kind of experimenting with things ever since. And in those experimentations, we have got hold of Converse as an area that we really thought it's cool to work on and a good problem to solve. So that's how has been my journey, and been fortunate to meet some great people on the way. Yeah. And work with them. So I have a few co-founders here, uh, both on the technology side and business side of consulting, and it's been a great journey with them.
So, if you can take us back to 2014 when you started your first entrepreneur journey. So far,
Hmm.
you had done multiple pivots. You joined Navy, then engineering, then
Yeah,
MBA, unrelated
yeah,
areas. But
yeah,
yeah, these are called pivots of life. But
yeah,
you did job and everything. But then quitting job and starting entrepreneurship, I think that is a different path altogether.
sure.
What
Mhm.
triggered that? I want to understand. Was there a pivotal moment or any trigger point that made you an entrepreneur?
So I think that's yeah. So you asked that earlier as well, but so I before actually starting this, I at least 8 times prior to that, I kind of thought of different ventures, and all those ventures exist as folders in my computer even now. So thinking, planning, and they were seemingly in different areas as well. So I think the first I thought of entrepreneurship may have been in 2006-7.
Mhm,
So it was at least a 7 years journey before I actually took the plunge. And I've been exploring business models. So from the uh, you know extent of sports academy to uh, mm, some venture in uh, a completely unrelated area of retail to consulting. So I did explore a lot of things and with different people as well. But I think in 2014 I kind of figured out that I was in my late 30s,
mhm,
and I kind of figured out that it is now. So by then I also got a lot of confidence of working with some great clients and doing some great work.
mhm.
So on the back of that confidence, I stepped out, and it helped. Yeah.
What was the initial business model?
Initial business model was completely consulting,
Mhm,
and within a few years, we were a team of 5-6 people. Uh, I think within a couple of years, and uh, we started pivoting towards technology actually in 2018. That was first when we in the interface of business and technology, and in the interface of HR and technology, we started experimenting.
mhm,
And in the space of HR and technology, with learning products, with HRMS products, with as a service model of those products, as alignment with tech companies, and doing joint transformation exercises. So that was the first, and that also grew our teams significantly.
mhm,
With those experiences in 2020, we started experimenting with products, and it took us a few years, you know, in between COVID and all of that, to kind of hit on a sweet spot, which we thought is quite scalable and good. So that's how it's been since 2014, and how that transition happened.
Before we move on to Converse, I would love to understand a few things around Cognos, like
Mm.
what sort of industries do you go after, and which geographies do you operate in, and any success stories
Mm.
from your client base that you'd like to share.
Yeah, sure. I think that's a good one. So, Cognos primarily is about, if I have to put it into consulting, primarily about four pillars. One is the experience or employee experience side. So, we basically, our whole fundamental is about behavior science. So, we are deeply ingrained into behavior science led work. And wherever we work, we actually work with that paradigm. In fact, even in Converse, the same paradigm continues.
Mm-hmm.
So one is the experience, and there's a lot of background of design thinking and employee designing employee experience the right way. Second is the aspect of leadership. So we have action coaching and leadership development from a distinctive point of view than exists in journey. We focus a lot on consciousness and mindfulness of leaders.
Mm-hmm.
That's one unique thing, and we feel that much more than capability and competence, it is the mindfulness which leaders require. Because if somebody has risen, they definitely have that capability and competence. It's the mindfulness which makes the difference. And the third one is around the HR transformation, which I was mentioning about from the point of view of organization culture, organization design, and or organization transformation. In that sense, from the point of view of organization design and different aspects of culture and purpose and stuff like that. So that's how and then we have a practice of business consulting, which focuses on lean transformation and business improvements. So that's how we are kind of working in Cognos, and then we have tech partners in different units. So we have Edexa with business consulting,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Darwin Box and Cornerstone with HR consulting, which helps us in HR transformation. And uh, some of the coolest work that we have done is with the Fortune 200 oil and gas company in Southeast Asia, where we actually carried out the entire landscape of design end to end on experiences with respect to career, with respect to capability development and learning. So, the whole landscape of reshaping the experiences of people. So we designing a career marketplace, designing learning marketplaces, and working in conjunction with technology to help them enable some of those use cases. So very cool stuff, and God has been kind, and we have been fortunate to get some of this work across mostly Southeast Asia and India.
Mm-hmm.
These are our principal geographies, but we have also done work in Middle East and even in North America. So much of our business comes from India and Southeast Asia, and these are the geographies we are also aggressively targeting.
Got it. Tell us about your latest technology ventures. What all technologies do you work on, and what is the
Hmm.
product about?
Yeah, so I think let me jump into Converse. So Converse is a brilliant intersection, I would say, of is the intersection of behavior science
Mm-hmm.
and AI, and also technology from the point of view of it being a platform. So uh, how it happens is that if you so we kind of decided one thing, that we will not play into products which are uh, driven more by automation, some kind of automation, or driven by some kind of workflow.
Mm-hmm.
Like typically you have ERPs or workflow tools or workflow products. So we kind of strategically we kind of and maybe this is also because of our consulting background. We will focus on solutioning. So our products will always be knowledge products
Mm-hmm.
that help clients solve a problem rather than uh, you know streamline a workflow. So that's the distinction I'm making in my mind and for the audience. So remain in knowledge products. So uh, with that distinction, we kind of initially started working on several use cases. We explored several areas, and we figured that hiring is one of the most uh, uh, fuzzy areas, and let's say uh, when it comes to HR.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the HR organization is quite sorted, because there are systems, there are processes, there is mechanisms to do that, but fuzziness happens in the hiring stage when you have a large number of candidates to be scanned,
Mm,
uh, and the recruiter's attention goes on three distinct things. One is sourcing, second is screening, and third is interviewing.
mhm,
And all these three are, in a way, you can say screening and interviewing is similar, but in a way, these are distinct skills and distinct pieces of work.
right.
Because somebody who is sourcing has to be extremely good with outside market, vendor management, uh, getting to the platforms right to find the right profiles,
Mm,
versus somebody who is evaluating, who is keen looker of what profile and what will make sense.
mm,
So these are distinct pieces of work and quite fuzzy, done by the same person. And we felt that AI can really help here. So
mm,
most of the recruitment pods or uh, the bots are either platforms or bots are more about synchronizing the process,
mhm.
but Converse focuses on solving it. So it screens and interviews. So
Okay.
the artificial intelligence actually interviews the candidate
Mhm.
and evaluates the candidate on 90 parameters,
Okay. Wow.
and then it creates a dashboard which is which is based on our JobFit AI. So we have a JobFit AI engine. It predicts the success of the candidate on the particular job the organization is posting, and then it also stack ranks all the candidates. So what it does is, therefore, if you have 300 people applying, well, it can already tell you which are the top 10 that you must interview for the final right round with the hiring manager. So it solves the problem. Then after this, the only job that uh, needs to be focused on by recruiters is that of sourcing and candidate experience, which is also the core of their job, to attract better people and
Mm,
to get better people in, and also get more quality folks to kind of interview and pass through the hiring managers. So that is the work it does. And in the second version of the product, we are also looking at technical evaluation, but again the same way. We are not going to go back to testing,
mhm,
because testing can be fudged as well. We are going to go to conversation. So we are going to have technical conversations, or AI is going to have technical conversations with
mm,
the candidates. That's how the tool came about, and we ideated it. Then we, kind of started working on it, and there we are today. Yeah,
mm. So on the face of it, this sounds like a very interesting tool, and I think
yeah,
it is automating, if not automating, but rather solving for almost 50-60% of the work that the
that's
front
right.
end of the HR people do. Uh,
Yeah,
but would like to understand what is happening in the background, like what all technologies have you deployed? How is
yeah,
AI used in doing whatever you are doing?
yeah, yeah. I think primarily there are three, four important things here. One is so the front is very simple. It's like an AI interface. The AI has a standard set of questions which it is throwing up at the individual, and the individual is taking about 3 to 5 minutes to answer each of them. So it's
Mm,
like a normal
yeah.
human interview, just that it is now an AI interview. Uh, and for the psycho part or psychoanalysis part, it is fixed questions. So questions are also not changing. But in technical interviewing, of course, the questions will shift and change, and they will be generated. So there will be use of generative AI there.
Mhm,
So that's pretty neat, and interface is quite clear. Uh, the interface at the end of the customer also very clear, very simple. We have not complicated it. Dashboard is as simple as who are the top 5 or top 10.
mhm,
You should shortlist and send them for hiring manager interviews. It's very simple. Uh, so UI and UX is willfully we have kept it very light, because recruiters don't have time, and we don't need to give them a lot of lot of complicated stuff to kind of make sense of. Uh, at the back end, we have two important things. One is the psycholinguistic analysis. So whatever conversation has been recorded, I need to analyze it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I have AI, which analyzes the conversation, the whole transcribed conversation on language, and gives me a result on 90 parameters of personality, sociability, emotional emotionality, drive, and cognition. So five of these principal dimensions and 90 sub-dimensions. It gives me data on that, which in a way is now raw data for me. And that's the candidate data for me.
Mm-hmm.
The other important tool or engine that we have created is a job fit engine. So we have looked at the universe of jobs and we have kind of captured them as levels of work and natures of work. There's a whole engine which works, and when the organization subscribes to Konverz.AI, we kind of take their data and plug it into our database, and what it does is it matches the jobs of the organization and its job descriptions with our job fit engine, and job fit engine then creates that what kind of profile is required for this particular role, and then that is matched with the candidate's data. That's the dashboard output we get. So these are the two important things which are happening in the backend with the use of AI. One, the language analysis, and the second is the job fit analysis. So these are the two things, and that's it. Yeah, and then the fourth one is upcoming, which is your technical and skill analysis, which will have generative aspect. So
Mm.
based on the projected ability of the person, it will generate a new question.
Got it.
Yeah.
My final question on the product. So far,
Yeah.
it's cool technology and on paper solving a lot of problems. But what are the results and success stories? Is it really hiring
Yeah.
good candidates? And
Yes.
many of the HR people would not agree with our hypothesis. They'll say कि human touch
Yeah.
is required, and AI cannot replace human. How would you counter that agreement? What are the results?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think first of all, I agree with them. AI should not replace human. AI can only enable human.
Hmm.
So AI should be used, and something like what we have should only be used to enable decision making. Decision is still made by humans.
Hmm.
Number one. And this is only solving for the fuzziness. So, finally, I still have to process those 5 or 10 people who the AI predicts as capable and then select a couple of them. So, even now companies are doing that, but they're doing it in a more fuzzier manner, if I may say that. Uh, so that's one. Second thing is, till date, I would have personally met at least 50 or 60 people in the HR domain, senior people, heads of HR,
Mhm.
and and my team would have met many of them. With an exception of 1 or 2 people, nobody has said that we don't want something like this. No one in the last 6 months. And that's the testimony. And I think that is my product market fit,
Hmm.
in that sense. And in the first 6 months itself, we have 5 customers on board.
Wow.
So I think the whole success, I would say it like that, is any product to be successful takes about 2 years, to stabilize. But we have been testing some early reinforcement from the industry that something like this is valuable, and second, people are willing to experiment with it and then take it on. And we have some very large conversations happening at this stage on Converse, and it's also going on marketplace of some of the biggies in terms of HRMS and those platforms which have several products in the marketplace. So Converse is going on some of them very very soon. So I think this has been pretty good, and I've been excited. Team has been excited, and we believe that that's the way forward. One more thing I would like to add is we are not going to stop at hiring. So we are not visualizing Converse as a tool. We are visualizing Converse as a platform
Mm-hmm.
with more and more use cases in the area of learning, performance, productivity, sales, service in the next couple of years. Yeah. So it's going to be an engine which is much vast than what it appears now.
Got it. So finally, before we wrap up, I just have one more question left, and it's a rather shorter question. Tell us, what is
Yeah.
the definition of entrepreneurship? How would you define the term entrepreneur?
Entrepreneurship is okay. A lot of people would say risk taking. Mm, I would say entrepreneurship is just about purpose. You Meaningful and purposeful work, uh, and not classifying work as good or bad. No, I'm in a situation getting some kind of work. Uh, I have to do that well today. So it's not about big, small, great, bad work. It is about work, and any work can be purposeful work. So far as you're interested in it, the domain you're interested in, just pursue it. Whatever work you are getting, just do it well and make it more meaningful and make it more purposeful for yourself. Because unless you like it, it's difficult to pursue it any longer. So very,
That's
very important that you remain interested. Yeah.
true. On this note, we will close the session. Thanks for joining us, Lokesh. It was a pleasure to have you on our platform. And our best wishes for Cognoz, Konverz.AI, and many more ventures that are going to come up um, from you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Priyaranjan. It was great interacting with you as well.
Likewise.